Let's do it live on a Thursday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am Merely Bo. He is the Great Z, and I believe this is the quote that sets the tone for this show. I was blanking, dialed in. Jason Gibbs. That's all you need to know right there.
Who the hell is Jason?
I don't think he was. I don't think the great Gibbe was dialed in at all, as a matter of fact.
It was an
G-Man
emphatic.
and I have been dialed in. J-Max locked in. We have put together a program for you two
You
today.
have. For the people, not for us. For the people. It's for the people. It's a matchup day. It's everything that you want. We got Dylan Gabriel with Z
In studio.
on the program. You have that to look
My
forward
ability
to, which is
to
nice.
swipe Gibbe's Yeti right in front of his face speaks to my ability to move in silence.
It's a mailbag.
Yeah.
Mailbag Thursday.
My
edition?
Chippewa roots.
Oh, my God.
You can't say you don't
Kev,
have
cue
them.
up Last of the Mohicans.
Can't say, yeah, that's
Can't
right.
say you don't. Can't say you don't.
What a movie. What a score.
Haven't seen it in a long time.
Got to dial it up.
Probably 30 years, I would say,
Dude,
since I
it'll-
saw it.
you
I think
might-
I've only seen it once.
What?
Yeah, I think once. I mean, it's a choice. It's long, right?
No.
Isn't it like 3?
No.
Really?
No. It's not an epic of like when they do that to you.
It was definitely a movie in college where I'm like, at what point of this movie can I start making out with a girl?
1992, Michael, man. I'm gonna say 2:15, 2:20 max. 1 hour 52, dude.
You know, it's interesting.
1 hour 52.
I think the way you feel about Mohicans is the way that I feel about Heat.
Yeah, Heat's
and,
great.
And they're both Michael Mann.
Yeah.
He did both.
Hour 52. Does that
That's
change?
not bad.
Does that
That's not bad.
Not
That's
bad.
doable. Hour 52 is doable. I'll take
Heat's
that.
250.
Oh, I know. That's a full day. And then you can cut some of it. You don't need all of it.
Mohicans.
That's why Heat's the best, one of the great rewatchable movies, because you really only, if it's on one of those channels that has commercials,
Yes.
watch for a little
dude.
while.
Yes.
yeah, I definitely don't know this.
What?
Oh, it's the Last of the Mohicans soundtrack.
yes,
No, I know.
it's one of
I
the great
gathered, but
soundtracks.
I just saying I don't.
All right, you need to do me this favor because we have great affection for each other.
Let me get my pen.
You need to watch it
All right.
and be dialed. This is like it requires dialing. You can watch it with the lady; she'll love it. It's beautiful romance. It's stunning. The
Madeline Stowe.
Madeline Stowe.
No matter
Peak
what,
Madeline
no matter what
Stowe.
occurs, I will find you.
Yes, you stay alive.
Stay alive. Yeah, I remember
Uncas
that.
Chingachgook. It's got a great villain, Magua, Wes Studi, unbelievable. And the last 13 minutes of the movie, there's no dialogue till the very end. It's just that kind of song, but building to a crescendo. But that soundtrack, beautiful scenery. It's actually shot
Carolina, right?
in Carolina. Yep, in by Chimney Rock.
Yep.
And it's just everything unfolds, and all you hear are just the sounds of everything unfold, but no dialogue. Just you don't even need it. It's mesmerizing.
It's been a long time.
And then
Say high school.
And then sad. You're gonna be like, oh my! It's one of the great. It's one of the
But
great
it's-
American film achievements.
I think what happens with a lot of that stuff is if it doesn't get circulated to you on,
I'm
not
circulating
people don't have tradition. A lot of people aren't having traditional cable, although
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of winning with it right now based on everything that's going on. And so if you're not on like that and it's not fed to you,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it. I'm gonna have to seek it out to see if it's streaming anywhere.
First of all, I own it.
Well, of course you do. On what?
As you
platform?
should. I bought it on Amazon Prime. As you should too. Everybody.
I don't know that I don't know.
Everybody
that yet.
should own it.
I think it's possible. I wanted to see where.
I bet you could. I bet for $5.99 you could own this film for your life.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you could pass it
That
on
I'd
to your
have it
children.
forever. Can you do that?
Why not? How would they know? Just
I don't
they
know how
log
you-
into Amazon
I
Prime.
guess you could. I guess they just would be stuck with my login forever. That's the way that would go.
Yeah. But anyway, so I want you to watch it.
All right, I wrote that down.
Unbelievable.
I wrote it
And
down.
then
Watch.
and then listen to the Rewatchables pod on it, which is incredible. There you go. I think I've just given you 3 of the most.
It's funny you did that because I actually did that this week. I had seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood one time, and I remember thinking that I didn't like it very much. And then it was on the FX when I was on Monday night as I was bouncing around. I watched the scene. I'm like, why would I not like this? It's
'Cause
Pitt, DiCaprio, Tarantino, all of it. So then I rented it Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Tuesday night I rented it, and I watched it, and I'm like, this is awesome. I don't know why I didn't
There's a
like
lot
it
of
the first time.
I didn't love it the first time either. I thought there were a lot of good scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was necessarily like a great.
I mean, at the end, I'm cheering. It's funny because I watched it the first time. It's possible that I bailed before the very end because I knew what was coming, or I thought I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
And then it goes the way that it goes, and I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's the same
fun.
thing he did with Inglourious Bastards. I'm just going to change the history.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it my way. It was good.
Yeah, it's better.
It's better. It's better. What did I miss yesterday? How'd you do on the Guess the Scores?
Ask Gibby.
How'd you do on Guess the Scores?
Well, you got a new philosophy on how to beat the system from a listener, so I think we're going to have to cancel the segment.
Oh, no. It's no good because you're too good.
Yeah.
You become too good.
He started off 8-2.
Oh, jeez.
I think he went 9-4? No.
9-5.
9-5.
Lim Tum.
It might have to be a thing. Maybe we have to change it because of your success. Maybe we have to change it where you have to get it exactly right.
See, I brought that up yesterday. He was not having any of that.
No, but I mean, like at this point, like you've won this championship. It's kind of like you're the Intercontinental Champion.
I have won this championship.
I know, you've won it. It's done. It's acknowledged.
All
You're
right,
the
fine.
champion. And in order for you to be the heavyweight champion, we have to graduate to perfection.
I think that the standard then should be.
A standard for a win should be. You think it should be?
I think it's like if I could get 6 out of 16 on the number.
On it. Yeah, there's no other way to do it. Unless you did, the only other thing you could do is if you kept it at a half point, but you couldn't go over, like Price is Right it. Like it's a half point without going over. Like, I mean, that's just arbitrary, but just try and find something that we could put on it that would make it tougher.
I think we do the exact, but I'd have to get if.
What constitutes a win?
Yeah,
So
that's
it's kind of
what
like
we need to
baseball
dial
or
in.
like
Look,
if you hit
I'm
300.
willing to give it another shot next week. Let's see what happens. Let's see
Well, I
if it's
mean,
a
he
little
hasn't
more
had a
competitive.
single losing
I'm
record.
9-0-1.
Yeah, but like this week,
We started off with a full point though.
We're giving the solid answer. There's no hook because someone gave him advice.
Well, they were right.
There's a little bit of a cheat code.
And the cheat
It's been
code.
This
It's
has been
a
going
shift
on
in
all
Vegas,
year. It's
though.
a shift in their philosophy.
Yes.
There used to be a 3. It was a 3, a 6. A lot of times you'd see push. Now everything is with the hook.
But
Both ways.
It used
So
to be a
2.5,
lot of whole
3.5.
numbers. It could be 4. It could
Absolutely.
be 5. It could be 6.
It's always the
now
hook.
it's always a hook because I didn't think they don't want any pushes. They either want.
Wins or losses.
Yeah.
Mostly they want losses, but that's because you never get a whole number anymore.
Well, I'm looking at it. So last week there were, in the entirety of the lines, there were 3 whole numbers. Baltimore was -7, Chargers were -9, and Arizona was +3. Those were the only whole numbers. The week before,
Yeah.
there wasn't a single whole number. The week before that, not a single whole number. So I was out there guessing on the halves.
Yeah, and you
And
didn't
whole
need to
numbers
be.
didn't need to do it.
Didn't need to.
The week before that, there was 1. Arizona, Indy was 7. So when they move lines now, they're moving them a full point. They're not doing it halves because that would get them on a whole number again.
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
It's a big shift.
Here, let me. Oh, you know what I'm going to do real quick? Just for fun. Since we've got a second here. I'm going to go back into the archives.
Yep.
And I'm going to go back to. I should have our picks of every single year.
Even on those you have them?
Yeah.
I know that you have like our picks and all that stuff in your doc there, but I didn't know that you were doing this too.
All right, so going back to 2024, for example, I just picked a random week.
Okay.
In week 13, this is 2024. This is not that long ago.
Last year.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the 16 were whole numbers.
Yeah, see, it's done. They're done with that.
So
It's same in college. There's no whole numbers anymore in college either.
So that is a massive
7.5,
shift.
9.5, 10.5, 6.5. You don't ever get a whole number anymore. So philosophically, everything's got a hook.
Yeah, this is it.
So another winning week there. Good job out of you.
Oh yeah, so unhappy about it. G-Man was
I
thrilled,
gave him his credit. Oh, I mean, these two, the love fest. It was gross.
Little G-Man in there, all
uh-huh.
jacked up.
It's
He's a little cheerleader on the sidelines.
It's mini me.
Yeah, I was sitting in your seat yesterday,
so you could
I
see it.
was like, no. So G-Man was in his normal seat, so I couldn't. So I was like, G-Man, come over here so I can see,
Yeah.
and we can get the proper, adulation after each after each win.
By the way, the debutante chiming in, she's watching the program.
Oh, hi, Miss Debutante.
Last of the Mohicans in the Hunger Games, both shot in her hometown of Asheville, North Carolina.
That's right.
How about that?
Yep.
Hunger Games.
Is she a
came
Biltmore?
to-
Chimney Rock.
She said, Hunger Games came to my middle school casting extra. Okay, you were in middle school. Might have been on marriage number
That's a
one
big
at
flex.
that point for me.
It's a good flex out of her.
Casting extras. I didn't want to miss class.
Of course not. She's a debutante. And apparently a Biltmore. Aren't they down there? Are they Vanderbilts? The Biltmore's down there, right? That's Asheville? Do I have that right?
I don't.
No, that
know.
massive, the
Estate?
Vanderbilt estate. It's in Asheville, right?
That I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'll look
She'll
it up
chime
right
in quickly on that. I'm pretty sure I have that
Okay.
right. It was it's the largest home in America ever built.
now. The Biltmore House, Asheville, North Carolina. Absolutely.
You've not seen that place?
I've not been to that place. No,
Well, I've not been there either, but you're aware of it.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I
so
also
it's
like the
very
Biltmore
possible she's a
Hotel in
Vanderbilt.
Scottsdale.
Well, the one in Santa Barbara is very nice too, right on the water.
Yeah.
Lovely. Spanish California architecture. Let's go.
Oh,
Everything you'd ever
Spaniard.
want.
You should see the Coliseum.
Oh, Spaniard. That's a nice drop in too.
Thank you.
What a day for us. Did you do college football, Nate?
We did not.
All right, because we did a little college football, Nate, on Tuesday.
I want to go back, but I think we've thrown our things out. We had it. So Texas Tech, unless I'm mistaken, wasn't even in at all.
No, they were in.
They were in, but Texas and Oklahoma were out. Their first two
They
out.
were 11 and 12.
Yeah,
They were both
okay.
out. Yeah.
So Texas Tech was in.
Yeah, them and BYU in, but they play this weekend. So it's all going to sort itself out over the
Yep.
course of the next month. But yeah, there you go. A couple of things from us today. A DNP for Carson Swessinger, high ankle sprain, revealed in the locker room today. So that's not great. He's been one of the big time bright spots.
No,
so
but they're
far.
not ruling him out yet. They're still. I think they think that there's still some potential. We'll see.
He's just had an awesome year, so that'd be a tough one. Also not practiced today, Isaiah Bond and Harold Fannin Jr. So that is all three rookies out today. What are your thoughts on those three?
Well, the one that I would be the most concerned about there is Harold Fannin Jr.
Yeah,
Because where did that come from?
no
I
reason
don't know.
given.
We were talking Frickers and his BG visit over the weekend down in the cafe. So I'm not sure.
Without the BG context, we were talking. What did you just say? We were talking Frickers.
Frickers.
Yeah,
Wings.
I'm going to need.
Frickers wings.
Okay. Yeah,
It's where he took
mind wanders.
It's where he took Coach and AB when they came to
It just
BG
said he
to
said
me.
he didn't see him. Maybe he was a late arrival.
Well, I mean that's all individual work.
Oh, this place looks pretty solid, Gibby. I mean, I'm
Oh,
just,
if you want to take the boys, if you ever
Look
have a
at this
game in
place.
Northwest Ohio,
That's
like
where you go?
a game. Oh yeah, take the boys
look
to
at this
Frickers.
joint. I mean, this looks like the boar's nest on Dukes of Hazzard.
You're pretty close.
I mean, that looks great.
If you just
That's an
need
old
to
reference
feed,
lost on
you
young
just need to
listeners.
feed the
Yeah.
team in Northwest Ohio.
That's it. That's solid.
Is practice over?
Should be wrapping up now. The debutante said yes to the Biltmore. The air was my childhood crush.
Had it.
There you go.
Had it.
I'm not
Just think she could have married into society.
Yeah.
She's been introduced into society, but she could have married into it. I mean, she could have been a Vanderbilt.
I'm not worried about
stopping
Harold
her?
Fannin.
All right, there you go. That's what matters most. We're not worried about Harold Fannin, so that's
Yep.
solid. That's solid. What about Bond? You worried about him?
A little more worried about Bond. Yes.
Enough from the clown, big Frickers guy too. You guys finally
it's
see
a
an eye to
BG
eye on
staple.
something.
Used to do the Urban Meyer call-in show from Frickers. Same with the Dan Dockich call-in show. Buckle up on those.
That had to be a scene. The Dockich one had to be a scene. Urban at that time was probably still pretty following, keep it between.
he was definitely
The
he
navigational
zeroed in on the
beacons.
coaching part of it.
Yeah. Was he when you were doing that with him? Did he have the? What I loved about him at Ohio State and Florida was you asked him a question, you got a direct answer.
So
I just loved that.
I did Dockich show. I didn't do Urban show. I
Oh.
came back a couple times to visit Dave DiNatale, my good friend.
Oh, yeah,
Dino
Dino,
at KYC. He did the Urban Meyer call-in show.
Okay.
Herb focused. Yeah,
Locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah, he's just such a
And he
driven
would
cat.
give you direct.
Yeah, just ask a question, get an answer.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
I
such
would-
a difference from Tress, who would filibuster forever and never answer anything, and you're like, I don't even know what just happened. I've been here for an hour. I don't know what that was. I have no clue.
All
You
right,
go, and
thanks
I
for
like them
listening,
both.
everybody.
I like them both, but like, I don't know what just happened. And then Urban, you get Urban. It's like, you ask me a question, I give you an answer. Next question. Oh, okay. Well, that's refreshing. I guess we have our answers.
Yeah.
On all of that. All right, there you go. Inching closer. What'd you guys make of the Cavs and the unis?
Hold on.
Yeah.
What did your kid do last night?
Oh, they had
Beating was handed out.
They had the it's a really cool thing that the Cavs do, and we've done it now. This will be our third year in a row doing it. The last 2 or 3 years we've done it with Aurora, and you go to Rocket Mortgage and is that what it's called still?
Yes.
Okay.
Just Rocket Arena.
Oh, Rocket Arena. That's a lot of names, Dan.
It
I know.
changed a lot.
It's a lot. It's still the Q to me. So you go down there, and our 5th grade team versus Aurora was the first basketball game on that court.
That's cool.
So like they were the first ones to play on the throwback court. So Beamsy's a 6th grader, so we played after them. But so we went down, we played, and it's unbelievable. It's so cool. Like the kids are so jacked up. There's one really overzealous security guy that was worried about a lot of things that were all going to be fine. It was all going to be fine, but he was a little overzealous. It's going to be fine.
Middle school parents.
It's all going to be fine. Like moms can walk across a section to say hello to their children. It'll be okay. Like no one's going to make a mess of things.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's all going to be fine.
There's
But the experience was awesome. Plenty of good seats. Yeah, experience was awesome, and it's just a really cool thing that they do. And then everybody,
That's
I had to go. I had a basketball practice with Bootsy, so I had to go home, and I wasn't able to stay for the game. But my wife stayed, and Beamsy stayed, and they all stay for the game, and they down in like the high five lane and all that stuff. So
That's
they're down on the
awesome.
courts. They get to do all of that, and it's just really cool. It's just a great job. I think a really out of the box thing that they do that brings people there on a Wednesday night that otherwise wouldn't. Right? And gives you an experience, like they discount the tickets, all this stuff. So it hooks you. As a kid, it hooks you, right? Like you get to play. I mean, it's such a cool experience. So that was awesome. And they had a ball, and we thank the Cavs for that because it's a really cool thing that they do. And those uniforms. So I didn't stay for the game, but they had them in like all the stores as I was walking by. Of that era, I remember it's funny because I remember that era. I had just moved here towards the end of that era, moved up from Florida, and it just amazingly those uniforms remind me more of LeBron than the ones they wore when they won the title. Like
Yes.
those ones,
Yes.
the blue one and then the wine one and the white, those three. I just think of him, and I was thinking about this. There was a you can't afford to miss a single game component to him.
Yes.
It was like as if Bo Jackson would have played for like 7 years in your hometown and played every game. I mean, it was just he was such a physical marvel. I was thinking about this a lot last night and then into this morning about how you would watch every single game. I don't watch every single game of anything that does 82 or 161 anymore.
Yeah, right.
I don't have that kind of time. But in those days, you would watch all of it because you didn't know what you would see. The way that he just relentlessly attacked the rim, like just such reckless abandon. And we've never, up until him, we had never seen somebody that big, that strong, that fast, that bouncy move like that. He was 6'8", 245, and he moved like he was 6'2", 205. I mean, it just was, anyway, so all that came rushing back seeing those uniforms.
Oh,
and
yeah, they're great.
I don't know if I thought they were great in the moment. I never ever really considered them. But there is a power, that's that power of nostalgia.
I think
that
they
when
should
you
be
get
the
that
uniforms.
that feeling of nostalgia of, oh wow, that brings me right back to that. So and to see that was pretty cool. And the idea that he's still playing and those uniforms are throwbacks is crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's the craziest part of all this. And
Yeah.
like the guys that are currently playing on the Cavaliers, how old they were when he started this journey.
Oh my God, like some of them weren't even born.
Correct.
No, yeah. No, some of them weren't even born. I mean, it's absolutely stupefying. But they do a great job. The show presentation, the game presentation's great. All
Easy
of that.
light it up.
They did okay. They did all right.
Right.
They took care of their business. The way that they should.
That's all you can ask.
Yeah. They were a little rusty, a little clunky, but handled their business and it was fun. It was really fun. And the Aurora folks are great, and so it's a good mix. Everybody wins on that side of things. So It was good. Good night. And thank you guys. Thank you guys for
that
picking
was
up
awesome.
the slack on that. Those are your Hot Topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Join Z and Ken tonight, 7 to 8, for the Kevin Stefanski Show, live from Razzles in Olmsted Falls. Come out and meet defensive tackle Mike Hall Jr. and register to win autographed merchandise courtesy of our friends at Bud Light. That'll be here in just a couple of hours from now. Coming up next, the first of our matchups, and it's a big one. Tommy Rees, his first game as an offensive coordinator in the NFL, calling plays. It will happen this Sunday in Jersey. We'll take a look at the matchup against the Jets defense that was depleted by the trade deadline in a big, big way. It's coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Elk and Elk Serious Lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for the matchup, our offense versus the Jets defense, and that means the debut of Tommy Rees as your offensive coordinator. And for that, we head to the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's Coach Rees.
How do you feel about play calling duties, and what do you feel you can bring to the table? What kind of stamp do you want to put on it?
Yeah, I really think mentality here from the beginning was like whatever is asked of me last year, this year, whatever the organization is going to ask of me, want to do that, my fullest capabilities. Excited about the opportunity, certainly, but try not to think of it in those terms. Like, we have a job to do as a staff, myself, players included. Like, focus really on having a great week of preparation, making sure that we're putting our best foot forward, using the bye week to improve some areas where we really need to improve on, and ultimately then call a good game on Sunday.
Obviously, on Sunday it your role and stuff changes, but from Monday through Saturday, how much does that change what you have to do and kind of what's asked of you?
Yeah, I think we're fortunate to have a really good staff that you can collaborate with, lean on. Obviously, Kevin this week's been great. The rest of the staff's been great. Bloom and CO and some of the guys that you lean on throughout the week. Your job changes a little bit, right? Like, you're having final stamp power on the game plan and where you see things falling and what's going to make it to Sunday. So that certainly changes, but the collaborative nature of it does not. Ultimately, you're making the final decision, which, like I said, changes things a bit, but process goes on as normal outside of that final part.
What was the conclusion you drew after the bye week about the passing game?
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of areas there we need to improve. And the passing game, like we've said from the jump, takes all 11. Certainly we want to stress defenses in probably some ways that we have not yet been able to or not able to connect on. Feature the guys that we can lean on and make our quarterback feel comfortable. So, the bye weeks are always great. We needed the reset to kind of look at things, make sure that we're doing the best things for our players, best things for our quarterbacks, and feel like we have a good plan moving forward.
Things you learned when you were calling plays at Notre Dame and Alabama, and do you think calling them in the NFL will be any different?
Look, you learn every time you call plays, right? I started calling plays the last game of the season in 2019. Had a handful of years there in a row called them in big games, called them in games people didn't watch, everywhere in between. Worked for two head coaches that are pretty intense on game day. So obviously you learn how to block out some noise, some friendly fire there. But I think you get into a groove, you get into a comfort level. So much of it is about learning your own team, learning your own quarterback. Fortunate for me, I've been able to be here, sit with Dylan, be with the offense. I know kind of what helps him, what makes him click. I think, got a good feel for our personnel here. That's so important when it comes to calling games. And then, you get into a rhythm throughout the game of figuring out what from the plan works, what you need to adjust, what they're doing to try to take some things away. And then you're just looking to build counters and things that can complement what you've already tried to set up. But I think every time you call a game, you learn. Every time even for me in the role I've been in, like, you learn as you're putting yourself in the shoes to call a game again, as you're listening and observing and helping. I think those were critical moments for me to move forward on. So, like the NFL part, I think these last couple of years, just being in the position I've been and seeing it firsthand, I don't have a whole lot of concern there.
Tommy, the fact that you guys have so many young, skilled players on offense, and you have this experience calling plays in college and these college concepts, like how much of an impact is that to these days? Yeah,
I don't know if it is. I really look at it as calling a game, and like, you're going to shape it to who you have. I think we have a good blend of young and vets right now, and we got to get the most out of them. I wouldn't say like solely because I called games in college it gives me a leg up. I think calling games gives you a perspective of how you utilize your personnel and how you utilize putting guys in the right spots. Certainly, like, you see a lot of things from college transfer into the NFL as of late. You watch Denver play; they have a lot of stuff there that makes their quarterback comfortable. So I think finding the right blend of, again, maximizing your personnel and who you have is important.
Will you stay upstairs in the booth?
I will. Yep.
Why do you like to do it like that?
It's a great vantage point to be able to call the game. It's a great environment to be able to call a game, and it's where my comfort's been. I've called games from the field. I prefer to call them from the booth as time's progressed on, but want to keep the same rhythm that we have.
Gabriel was comfortable out of the shotgun at Oregon. Gabriel was comfortable playing mostly shotgun at Oregon. You think you need to go to that to make him more comfortable?
I think there's a lot of things we can do to make him comfortable. I think there's great communication between Dylan and the staff on what gets him to that point.
He said yesterday that you will have final say and latitude over most things, and he really wants you to be able to put your stamp on this, but also when it comes to maybe whether or not to go for it on fourth down, he's going to retain some of that. How do you feel about how that
he's the head coach. Every head coach makes the decisions on game day management, right? It's your job to call the play when the situations come up. It's their job to head coach's job to make sure that they're putting the team in the best position.
Obviously, fans aren't familiar with the Tommy Rees offense. So without giving anything away,
Ohio State country, yeah.
What do you think that they can expect from
I'm not going to put any labels on it. We want to go out there and play sound football, put our players in the right spots, and have success. Like, look, we got to score points. We got to stay on the offense. To sit here and say a bunch of stuff that it's going to look like, we want to maximize the guys we have. And that's looked different. First year I called plays at Notre Dame looks different than when I was at Alabama. It's just you're trying to maximize the guys you have on the roster.
All right, for the other side of the matchup, we turn to the Jets, and we're back at the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here is Jets head coach Aaron Glenn.
When it comes to this,
You're done.
man, this is a team that you just take a look at their defense. They're playing at a very high level, and they have some key guys in key positions that are playing at a high level for them. Obviously, the DN Garrett, he's a really good player. The DB Ward, damn good player. And this is a sound football team that plays very aggressive. So we have to be on our P's and Q's when it comes to how we operate on offense. When it comes to how we operate on, when it comes to their offense, I know exactly what the coach is trying to do. He's trying to do a good job of making sure that he brings this quarterback along slowly. They're leaning on the run game, and they're obviously giving him a chance to get the ball out quick. Now, we know a lot about this player, the quarterback Gabriel. I mean, he's been a captain every place he's been when it comes to college. And he's done a good job for those guys. And listen, I understand exactly what he's going through, trying to get his team offensively to be on the right track, somewhat similar to us. And I know this coach is going to work his ass off to make sure he get it there. So we're looking forward to the competition. This is a game that that's our total focus that we're on this game. And for the most part, the guys are upbeat, ready to go, just like they've always been each week. And we're looking forward to playing this team. So we look for getting the win. So any questions?
What was yesterday like for you? I mean, you guys traded away two guys that were pretty important versus locker room and defense.
Yeah, that was it was a pretty intense day. But for the most part, just getting calls from a lot of different teams, and when the opportunity presents itself for us to be able to build this team, it's hard to pass it up. Listen, those two guys are great players. We all know that, all pro players. But the one constant in this league is change, and I've said that to all our players, not just today but throughout this season, that this is a fluid game, fellas. And listen, players come and go, coaches come and go. But the one thing that I do know, with change there comes opportunity, and I think Sauce Quinn is going to have a great opportunity with those teams. But I also know there's a lot of opportunity for our guys here too, though. So that's where the focus is for our guys. Like I said, it was an intense day, but man, we're looking forward to playing Cleveland.
Did you feel the need at all, Aaron, to talk to the team about trading these guys away? Because I know Darren spoke to us yesterday. He said the goal is to win, the goal is to win. But
yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt that in the right now today, you guys are better with Quinn and Sauce than without.
To me, I always hit things head on. And obviously when you have two guys like that end up leaving your team, you don't want to make too much of a deal about it, because the players know that this is a league of change, just like I just talked about. And that's as far as it went. And listen, we won a game last week with Sauce not there, and listen, we know how good of a player he is. We know how good of a player Quinn is. But, man, we are moving forward. We have a good amount of draft capital that we're looking forward to. And when that time comes, we'll handle that. But right now, again, we're focused on Cleveland.
And speaking of being focused on Cleveland, the job of stopping the Browns' offense will fall to Steve Wilks, former defensive coordinator, right here. Let's go to the podium now and listen to him.
When you look at –
Gotcha, John.
Go ahead and address this up front. I'm going to allow Coach to deal with the personnel issues in regards to the things that happen in regards to the trade. I will say this game is all about change, and those changes come through injuries. Sometimes it comes through trade, as you saw the other day. But we got to do a great job of pressing and moving forward and get ready to win the next game. I say I have total confidence total confidence in the guys that we have here. A.Z. Thomas, Brandon Stevens, Malachi, Jarvis Brownlee. I can keep going on the guys on the back end as well as the front. Because what I've seen, I saw the toughness, the physicality, the competitive nature. We can win with that. And those are the guys right here that, again, that I'm excited about to coach, and I'm looking forward going into this next game. In regard to the next game, throw the record out the window, all right? The Browns are a good football team. Outstanding running game with this rookie running back, along with Ford, tremendous receiving core with the tight ends and Judy. And Gabriel's doing a great job just really orchestrating and running that offense. So we've got a tough task ahead of us this week. And number one, it starts with stopping the run, the one thing that we struggled with a little bit the previous game.
All right, time for that first matchup. It's presented by Ballybet. Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. It is our offense versus the Jets' defense. For more on that, we turn it over to Dr. Z.
Yes. All right. Browns are going against a defense that is bad. The New York Jets, people were acting like, oh, man, they broke up a top 5 defense. No, they did not. The Jets have not been good. You know, I know that. They don't have a single interception this year.
That's crazy.
Not one. 0. They are 29th in sacks. They have 11 sacks. They have no picks. None. 0. They are giving up 27.6 points a game, 27th. Their rush defense, 135.8 yards per game, 26th. Pass defense is decent, 11th in the league. Total yards, they're 20th in the league. On fourth downs, they're 28th in the league. Their turnover margin is -9. That's 32nd in the league. They are goal-to-go defense. They've given up 12 touchdowns on 14 trips, 27th in the league. The only thing they've been good at, they've been a good third down defense. I'll give them their credit. Been a good third down defense. Running backs against the Jets this year are averaging 130 total yards and a touchdown per game. James Cook's hit him for $132. Devon Achan's hit him for 101 total yards in that one. Javonte Williams has hit him for $135. Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard combined when they were still splitting carries for 110. And then last week, Chase Brown and Samaje Perine on 21 carries went for $167. I'm not a mathematician, but that's 8 yards a carry. In fact, in 2 of their last 4 games, they've given up over 7 yards a carry. Now, they did a good job against the Broncos running back somehow, but they have not done a good job outside of that. They've given up more than 100 yards rushing to running backs alone in 5 games this year. They've given up more than 143 times. This has to be a big Quinshon Judkins game. This defense lost their best player up front, which was Quinnen Williams. They are small at defensive end. Jermaine Johnson is 254 pounds. Will McDonald is 245. This is a game where the Browns need to run and attack the edges. They've benched former first-team All-Pro Quincy Williams at linebacker. It'll be Jamie Sherwood, who last year led the league with 98 solo tackles. He had 158 of them. And then Kiko Mauigoa. Yeah, there it is. Kiko
There you got it.
Mauigoa. His first name is Francisco. I think you should go by Francisco.
I'm with you.
It's fun to say, Francisco.
I don't have a problem with that.
Kiko Mauigoa. That's what we go with.
I like it.
Mauigoa.
I like it. It's fine.
Mauigoa. Rookie out of Miami, 5th-round pick. So those are the linebackers. They're corners and safeties. Listen to who's going to be starting for them. Brandon Stevens, who was a former Raven. He's going up 109 rating and coverage. They just lost Andre Cisco for the year, or not for the year. He's on IR. So that means Isaiah Oliver or Tony Adams are going to start. One of them gives up 90% completions. The other gives up 134 rating. Jarvis Brownlee is a 5th-round pick from Tennessee in 2024. He is their nickel. Their other safety is Malachi Moore, their 4th-round pick this year, who's given up a 98 rating and coverage, 67% completions. And the new starter on the other side is Azarie Thomas, who's given up a 111 rating and coverage.
Good grief, dude. That's the most nameless secondary.
Yeah. The only one you've ever heard of is Brandon Stevens.
Holy cow.
And Cisco was a 3rd-round pick of the Jags out of Syracuse, and I know that Siciliano's sad that he will not be participating. Yeah, this is not they are not good. This is not good. Up front, Will McDonald leads the team with 3 sacks. They only have 11 total. I mean, Jawan Briggs is 2nd on the team. Our Jawan Briggs.
Yeah.
Now they're Jawan Briggs with 2 sacks. Like, we should dominate this team.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah, you should. This is a very soft landing spot for Tommy with play calling, and coming off the bye for Dylan and healthy Q and throwing it to all of the things that we've struggled with for the whole season. Those things should open up Sunday.
So they've given up 34-30, 29, 27, 37. Now against Denver, inexplicably, they gave up 13. Carolina was 13 as well. And then they give up 38 to the Bengals last week. The two games against the AFC North, they have given up they themselves have produced 73 points. They've given up they themselves have produced 71 points. They've given up 72 in those two games in the AFC North. So high-scoring games there. But we absolutely should be a big offensive performance for the Cleveland Browns. Quite frankly, it's got to be a big offensive performance for the Cleveland Browns.
It'd be pretty stunning if it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's not a lot here. There's nothing really here to be too worried about, and they've pushed in the chips. They're on to 2026. We'll get the other side of the matchup coming up a little bit later in the program. Speaking of that offense and unlocking what is there, Z one-on-one with Dylan Gabriel coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Very happy to be joined in studio by the starting quarterback of your Cleveland Browns, Dylan Gabriel. And Dylan, before we get into anything, let's just talk about, is there a difference between a college bye week and an NFL bye week?
More time off. You know, in college, they definitely keep you there, and you got some schools, so it was good to have a true week off and then spend some time with family. So
yeah, what'd you
much
do?
Needed. Went to some dinner spots, so
yep.
Kind of learned my way around there, and then
it's a good food town. Underrated food town.
It's very underrated.
Yeah.
And got to go to a Cavs game with IB and Carson.
Yeah.
So we enjoyed that, and then just chilled. I slept in and got out of bed when I wanted to.
That had to be nice.
That was nice.
What's your normal like in the build? Like this week, what's your in the building time?
Probably around 6:45, 7.
Okay.
And then we're rolling. You know, you don't leave till 5 or 6. So it's good though, and I think what's cool too is like a different schedule from college to NFL is like all day it's football. So there's so much you can accomplish within a day.
All right. As you kind of sit here, and this is unfamiliar territory for you. I can't imagine the last time probably in 4 games that you only won one of them. Maybe never in your life. I'd probably say probably not. How have you kind of just processed the difference in the National Football League and sit back and say, okay, we got 4 games in here. How have you kind of looked back on it? What was your own like self-scout process?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. You know, I think going through this process, you are going to appreciate it down the road. And in the moment, there's a lot that you want to expedite the process and get to a level where you feel happy about playing at. And that's collectively as well. But as a quarterback, you know it's going to be judged off of wins and losses. That's part of why you sign up for it and the love for the position. But also, you know, I know there's going to be strides I need to take to get better, you know. And I think from game to game, there's been different challenges. And I think I've learned week to week, you know, everyone's got great players. You know, it's the National Football League, and it's
not college. There are no no cupcakes,
no non-conference.
Yeah,
you know?
no. Right.
But you know, I just think the competitive level of football that we're playing at, all around the league, there's a lot of great players, and there's a lot of good edge rushers. So there's a challenge each week at all 3 levels of a defense, and you try to fine tune and find where you can attack and be good at that. But I think more than anything, it's us looking inwards. I think the bye week was good for that, of trying to get better and do the self-scout of where we need to attack, what's our strengths, what's our weaknesses, and try to, you know, mirror the both to where you can help yourself be efficient, sustainable offense to score points and win games. That's how I think of it. Eliminate distractions and focus on what matters.
What's something that you have kind of said, all right, this is one area where I know I have got to, I've seen it, and I know I can do it. This is what I've got to do going forward.
I think altogether it's explosives.
Yep.
You know, for anyone, you know, a 15-play drive compared to a 6 or 8-play drive.
It's a lot easier to go 6.
Yeah, a lot easier. And you look at it of, you know, that creates momentum and rhythm as well for an offense. But then also you can just go down the field and not have to be perfect for 15 plays. You know, there will be drives where you'll have to go grind it out like that. But the more explosive you get, the less likely you'll have, you know, bunch of play drives. So we're just working through that and want to create those in every which way, the run, the pass, you know, however it may be.
Chunks are chunks.
And then being great on third down in the red area. You know, we get down there a bunch and but want to score points. And then on third down, sustaining drives, you know, when there's a third down, you got to have it. You got to go get it. And I think we're learning that through opportunities that you got to go make it happen.
In the NFL, I would imagine the windows are different, right? And I know that there's no question after kind of the way the season started for us, you were tasked with make sure we take care of the football. Yep. How are you kind of, now that you've had 4 games, kind of being able to balance that fine line of, okay, it's third down, I got to put it past the 6 versus, but I also can't put the ball in harm's way. Like, because I feel like that's ultimately that finding that balance, especially on vertical throws as well, that's what the league is.
Yeah, it's a fine line, you know, and I'm finding that balance not only every day but each week.
Yeah.
And you want to find a balance of not pressing and not, you know,
you can't force it.
Yeah, and then not going broke taking a profit, you know.
Yep.
So that's something you do, whether it's coverage that's matched, you know, winning on that, or zone coverage when you got a high-low a certain defender.
Yep.
Or a defender in conflict and playing off that. But sometimes you can leverage a defender one way or the other. So just trying to be aware of that, ultra aware, and then creating it and making it happen.
Obviously, the big news this week is that there's going to be a new play caller. How did you find out, and were you surprised?
Yeah, I got a call early, and appreciate that. And that's just open communication. And I don't think surprise is the word. It's understanding what Coach Stefanski wants and for this team. He's all about the team and wants to win, and taking the right steps to do that. I think for Coach Tommy, it's someone that's been a consistent voice in not only the locker room but just on the offensive side of the ball, and I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good just because who Coach Tommy is. I've been a fan of him even in college, but even getting to work with him, it's like I think day to day nothing has really changed. It'll just be the flow of on game day. So we look forward to it. We're all coming together to create improvement, and that's all we're focused on.
Have you noticed maybe any difference in kind of the style? Because you have so many seconds, right, that they're allowed to talk to you on maybe Kevin thinks it's important to say these things. Tommy maybe thinks it's important to say things. How's that kind of gone in practice with a new voice in your head and maybe the way that they approach their allotted time?
That's a great question because there is an adjustment in terms of just verbalizing and hearing a different voice and how they pronounce certain things.
Yeah.
I don't think you think of that until it's
happening.
It's a speaker in your voice or in your ear. So it's good, though, and it's something through practice we're all getting through, and he's done it through walkthroughs as well.
Yep.
So a voice I'm familiar with, but now it'll just be more consistent.
I'm not asking for you to say what they are, but have you noticed anything maybe that feels a little bit different with Tommy and maybe the way that either he wants to sequence or some of the things that he likes, corners of the playbooks that he likes?
I think it'll always be, a group effort with all the coaches and separating the game plan into certain areas where coaches take, pride in and kind of focus on. I don't think that'll ever change, but I think, within a flow of a game, I think certain guys just have great feel. And Coach Tommy's done it. So just trusting that and being around. I'm excited to that be our first game going in together and working through that. But also just know that, we've always been working on this together and as a squad to make it go happen.
Bright lights, big city, heading to New Jersey, even though they are the New York Jets. We'll be playing this game in New Jersey. But in the off in the distance, you'll be able to see the skyline of New York City. Jets, I don't know if you ever had this. I managed in college, and I don't think guys transfer in the middle of a week, but you had the Jets say, here's our best defensive lineman, first-team All-Pro. Here's our best cornerback. Dylan, don't worry about those guys. They're not going to be here anymore. What was that kind of news like for you on the trade deadline where there were really only a couple big moves, and they were all off of the defense that you're going to be facing?
Yeah, we got out of a meeting and found out about it. So I always say it, but I'm never surprised in the league anymore. Crazy things happen.
You're only 8 games in.
Only 8 games in. And, I think college will at some point get to something like that. So just control what you can.
Sure.
And I think for anything. There's
still a nice surprise.
Yeah, for sure. And there's still a bunch of great players. So you just adjust and, work through the depth chart, but then also know that there's a lot of things that we're working on that is, focused and centered on us and how we can be better, through certain things as well.
All right, this is a defense that kind of plays it down the middle, almost even split on middle of the field open, middle of the field closed. They don't do a lot of disguising, kind of even on cover 1, cover 2, cover 3. When you've kind of gone through your preparations for them, what's kind of stood out to you about the way that they try to attack opposing offenses?
I think it's trust in personnel, also confidence in, coverages that they've ran a bunch throughout, whether it's training camp or OTAs. I think that's where that kind of style of play comes from.
Yep.
And that's trust and belief in who they got. So I think that's, usually goes on either end of the stick on that one. But, I think they're a great team, and they'll obviously create challenges in multiple ways.
When you look at a team that, and I think they're top 5 in the league in terms of their cover 2 percentage, when you see a team that does play some of that shell, how does that, kind of change maybe your mentality? And did you see as much of this in college? I feel like it seems like a trend. Like Minnesota, we play Minnesota, they come into it, they're like a huge shell team. Now they changed it up a little bit with us, but that's still a big shell team.
I think there's themes within a year throughout every league, and what's working, and if a team had success with it, other teams will try it, and then you may get that theme throughout. But for the most part, I think that it's different ways of switching it up. I think it's maybe the drastic shell to a single high look and maybe not expecting it or trying to get, maybe an offense used to one coverage and then they got a change up that may get you off for a play. So I think that's kind of more so maybe the reasoning behind that.
How important is you get said Tillman back, which is great to this offense? How important is it for you to say and even get with the coaches and be like, look, let's get these receivers going early? Because I got to imagine it's like basketball, right? You want to get your scorers the ball, let them see the ball go through the net, get into the rhythm of the game. So how important is that, and is that something that we should expect to see maybe coming out here in New York?
It's huge. You want to get everyone going, and especially your best players.
Yep.
And I think everyone's aware of that. And I think it's a mixture, right? You want to establish the run. You want to be really good in the pass game. You also want to create, touches for your guys to have some run after catch and go do their thing. So it's finding a balance of that, but definitely want to emphasize, getting our best players the ball.
How hard is it to kind of balance that with you got to take what the defense gives you?
For sure.
That's the league, right?
Yep.
There are times where, as you said, when we can leverage something, that's when we can take the shots. But for the most part, it's, all right, we're going to run this play. We're expecting this look. We got this look. This guy, whether he goes here or here, is going to determine where the ball goes.
I think the best offenses are most efficient when the ball is being spread around. And you look at, guys that have maybe not equal, but very balanced offense. And then I think you can also tell when certain guys are doing well each day.
Yeah.
And maybe that day it's a tight end and running back day. Maybe it's a receiver day on another. So I think that can be a good sign and tell of when offense is clicking on all cylinders.
How excited are you to get out there and just get this thing going? Because I know you know that we can get this offense going.
Yeah, I'm ultra competitive. I want it to look a certain way, and you're used to a certain style and want to play at that pace, but also that aggressiveness and have it look a certain way, and then ultimately go win games. So it's a consistent effort of calm persistence of just working at something and trusting it. But this is all times that really build tough people and people that can work through these kind of things, and it makes it that much more rewarding. So that's how I attack it. I know it's one day at a time, one meeting, one practice, and
one rep.
I think that's all you can really control, and that's where we come together and go do that thing. But we'll make it happen.
Yeah, let's go. Dylan, thanks so much for the time. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff with Z and Dylan there. Some breaking news, multiple reports. Ken Rosenthal among them, Jeff Passan, I believe Adam Schefter as well now. Paul DePodesta has been the Chief Strategy Officer here with the Cleveland Browns for the better part of the last decade, and according to their reporting, among others, he is moving on to become the Colorado Rockies head of baseball operations. Again, Paul DePodesta, who has been here with the Browns the last 10 seasons, was hired in January of 2016. He is moving on reportedly to the Colorado Rockies to head baseball operations. We will have much more on this on the other side of this quick timeout. Score big with Howard Hanna, the official real estate partner of your Cleveland Browns. As Northeast Ohio's #1 real estate provider, they're dedicated to helping you make the best move. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBrowns to explore your winning options today. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, second hour here. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet. Add more fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. You place that first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Some breaking news here in the sports world that affects us directly. Chief Strategy Officer Paul DePodesta, according to Jeff Passan, according to Ken Rosenthal, Adam Schefter, others, reporting that he has taken a job to run the baseball operations with the Colorado Rockies. Nothing yet official from Colorado or from us here with the Browns, but those reports are out there. They're being confirmed by the biggest newsmakers in the business. Paul was hired in January of 2016 as Chief Strategy Officer, and it is a 10-year run that, according to multiple reports, is coming to an end today, my friend.
Yeah, that would obviously be a big one, as he has been the Chief Strategy Officer here, as you mentioned, for a decade. With Paul DePodesta. I think it's, his first love, for those of you who watch Moneyball, his first love was always baseball.
Yeah.
And so, I would say if this is what he's doing, good for him going back to what he, truly loves and is passionate about. I've always enjoyed my time with Paul DePodesta. A very smart guy. Mm-hmm. Hasn't always necessarily what we've done worked out the way that maybe we wanted to. But yeah, an excellent guy. And certainly, if this is true, which at this point with the names that are reporting it is obviously it feels pretty true.
Yep.
Certainly wish him the best. Wish him the best. And I don't think I wouldn't read into it that this means there's a whole big shift coming here at this point. Certainly not in this season.
Alone is though.
But it is.
I mean, it's
somewhat
10 years as Chief Strategy Officer. I mean, that's a big shift on its own.
Yep.
To have this news happen.
No doubt.
Today. Yeah.
No doubt. And things have, unfortunately, other than, a playoff win in 2020 and a playoff appearance in 2023 with Joe Flacco, which certainly was not part of the plan.
No.
We have not had the success that we've wanted, and we're in, not a tough spot, but we're not in the best spot right now. So you could see a change probably ultimately might be best for everybody involved.
This was probably, what would you say it was? Maybe 3 years ago he came in here? He used to do it once a year. He would come in here with us once a year.
Let me tell you something.
And that's what I would say. Like when he came in, and it was 2 or 3 times that he's been in studio.
The best.
He's so good at explaining the reasons for why things happen and what you're trying to do.
Totally.
I remember saying this to him that day when he left. I said, I wish I would have heard more from you through the years, because I think that it explains stuff, but
he's
yeah,
great at explaining. He's a great guy.
Yeah, really nice.
Great guy, great family, super nice guy, super smart. And when you talk to him, you feel confident in the plan because he is so smart about it. Everything he says makes sense. It's not like he's speaking in these, highfalutin ways where you're like, I don't even know what he's saying. No, he is. Matter of fact, it all makes sense. Now, it is also true that, doubling down against the 6 when you've got 11 in a casino is the right play. And guess what? It's not a guaranteed win.
No.
And unfortunately for the Browns, we've been on the wrong side of things that when you actually get to hear, as you say, when you get a chance to talk with Paul, and Paul was always an open door for me. I was able to go in and really understand our thought processes on a lot of things, and I appreciate that immensely. Like I really like Paul DePodesta a lot. Unfortunately, things just haven't necessarily worked out the way that the good strategy that led to some of the positions we're in we had hoped. And the biggest one, obviously, is what Jimmy Haslam talked about, the trade for Deshaun Watson. You understand why it happened. It has not yielded the fruit that you wanted at that time. But there were always one thing, it doesn't bring any comfort, but there were always sound reasons for the way that the Browns have operated. Like if you sat with them and you listen to Paul DePodesta and talk about it, you'd be like, okay, yep, that makes sense. I get it. It just hasn't worked out, unfortunately. And I think that part of that is there are things in the National Football League that are intangibles that are maybe not quantifiable in any way. And you talk about, human analytics, but just whatever that is, there are a lot of things there. But I certainly wish him well. I think he will be very good in baseball, which has now become even more so. And he was really at the forefront of it, analytically driven. I mean, think about it. If you watched a baseball game from our childhood, so let's call it in the 80s.
Yeah, late 80s through the early 90s, mid 90s, all the way through.
You knew what a left fielder, a center fielder, and a right fielder were because they played in left field, center field, and right field You knew
That's
where the
right.
shortstop and the second baseman were in the first. Like they all just played their positions.
They played the positions. Yeah.
But then as they got into the analytics of where guys hit it, now you got 3 guys over here. You have all these shifts and all this. Everybody's different for every. It's not like that anymore. And he was kind of at the forefront of that. And Moneyball, obviously, a great book, an excellent movie that was made, and I was somebody who grew up out there. I knew about the A's and what they were doing. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it didn't work out. I think sometimes the best laid plans do not. And I think that there were sound reasonings, and I think we did a lot of things that were really, really smart in terms of how we were able to use the cap to our advantage with cash and all those things that we kind of were at the forefront of in the league. It just, unfortunately, this is an industry where you've got to have that quarterback really to be long-term successful, and I think that is the truest thing in the league. And we have not been able, unfortunately, to find that. And that's kind of why the Browns are where the Browns are right now, and that quest is ongoing right now.
Yeah, and just for him, in his personal life, Southern California, it's where he calls home, and now that's nothing with Denver. That's an easy commute, and so back to baseball, closer to home, West Coast-ish, at least adjacent. So there's that side of it as well. Just from a timeline standpoint, in terms of my hunch is Colorado would be the one to officially acknowledge first. Would that seem to be how that would go? That it would be the Rockies that would do that?
Yes.
And then there would be something officially from us. And again, it's Passion, Schefter, Rosenthal. These are all the people that would have this type of thing. So it was broken on the baseball side of it, and then others responded after that. But it was Passion and Rosenthal that were kind of at the forefront of it. But then so in terms of a timeline, then the next thing I think would be curious is, will that position be filled? Will we fill with a chief strategy officer again? Like, what is that? Because it was a triumvirate. It was him and AB and Kevin, and we've talked about this, the power structure and kind of how that all works, and they're all equal viewed, and that's the way that it kind of goes. And they worked very well together collaboratively. They got along very well. Like, is that a position that is filled here in the organization? I think that's the next logical thing to kind of ask.
Yeah, what is it going to look like? And I think once this thing is confirmed by the Rockies, and once the Browns make a statement about it, I think that'll be a very real question. Okay, so what did it look like before? What does it look like going forward? Is that a role that you would like to, fill in going forward, or is that a role that will no longer exist?
Yeah.
Will that be something, we've got with HSG? Like, is that something that becomes now? I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea, and it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I certainly wish Depot well. I wish it had worked out better for him because I do think he's a very smart guy. I think that he wanted this team to be great. I mean, I know he did, and
he worked tirelessly.
And he's smart, charming, gregarious, super intelligent, talented, all of those things. And I think the NFL is just a little bit of a different challenge. And the reality is, it doesn't matter how good you are at anything. If you don't have a quarterback in the NFL, it's not going to be a success.
Your blackjack analogy is the perfect one. You can play all the odds in the world, but sometimes the house wins.
Yeah. And by the way,
win a lot.
Those are pretty nice looking casinos that were not built on paying out money.
No, they're not. So that is your breaking news here as we across the second hour here of the program. Chief Strategy Officer Paul DePodesta, been in this position since January of 2016, reportedly moving to Colorado to head up the baseball operations of the Rockies. Still nothing official yet from either the Rockies or the Browns. We'll continue to monitor that, but these are the people that you pay attention to on this stuff with Rosenthal and Passan and Schefter. So they've got it. And that is what is being reported. So for now, we will take that as fact as we move along. Coming up next, we get back onto the football field, take a look at the matchup from the other side, our defense versus a Jets offense that reportedly will have Garrett Wilson this weekend. So you have that to look forward to, which is nice. It's coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Barking Backers, official dog fan club of your Cleveland Browns, back for the 2025 season. Get your pup in on the action. Exclusive gear, events, and more. Memberships available now at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers, presented by Milkbone in association with Embrace Pet Insurance and Pet Supplies Plus. Again, if you're just joining us, the breaking news of the day, reportedly, Paul DePodesta, Chief Strategy Officer of your Cleveland Browns since January of 2016, is moving on to the Colorado Rockies to head up the baseball operations there. Nothing official from Colorado, nothing official from our side of things either, but it is being reported by folks who don't miss on this type of stuff. So that is your breaking news of the day. We discussed it in the previous segment. Time to get now back on the football field and the matchups. We'll do our defense versus the Jets offense now, and we kick it off from the podium, presented by Vivid Seats, Purchase official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's your defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz.
Goes down. He had, right, the 5 sacks. The late frustration he showed, like, just what did you take away from his performance and then his reaction to be taken out at the end of that game?
Yeah, I like the competitiveness with it. You want guys, and the thing is for him, like there's sometimes you get taken out of a game because it's like a blowout win, and you're protecting your guys at the end of the game, and we had that at the end of the Miami game, and guys want, sacks and interceptions and things like that. And they're easier to get at that time of the game than other times. But this was the point that we were down, and I appreciated the competitiveness of him wanting to figure that out. Also, 100% see where Kevin was with it of, the game's over, let's protect our players. Outstanding performance. I think the thing, and I told him this, the thing I was probably most proud of his play was not the 5 sacks. It was the way he played the run in that game. And he did a really good job there setting edges and, and chasing from the backside and things like that. Obviously, in a losing effort, there's really no silver linings, but it was a good individual performance.
We know how important Miles is to your defense on the field. But when you're going through these and you're trying to clean things up, how important is he off the field in the efforts that you're trying to make across the team?
Yeah, you mean just
him being vocal and open in that regard?
Yeah. I mean, you want all your guys to be honest and to be, to be honest with their feelings and things like that. But you also want to frame it the right way. And I think Miles has been good that way. I mean, I think that you guys that deal with him on a daily basis, I mean, having frustration at the end of a game is not something that it normally shows with him. So he's done a good job of being consistent and working. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like the week before that game, he took every single practice rep. Every single, and he had told Jacques, hey, I wasn't happy with my performance the week before. You're not taking me out of practice during this week. And I think that goes, like that kind of statement speaks loud too. And he ended up with, a good performance in the game. So, I don't want to, whatever, call that out too much. You guys aren't out there and see the reps, but usually D linemen, because particularly the way we go, we'd like split reps in practice. But I think that sends a strong message, and it's a difficult thing to do during the week to take every single rep. But I appreciated him doing that. I think it showed on that Sunday. Again, no silver linings in a loss, but we'll put it behind us and move on to the Jets.
If Carson's going to be able to play or not, but with how well he's been doing just in terms of calling your defense back there and managing the whole thing, what will that be like for you guys if he can't go?
Well, we have some experienced players there. Mahmoud got a lot of his starting experience last year. Devin Bush has played in there. Bake has played in there. So we have a lot of different ways that we can go with it, and we'll practice that way and just see where it lands. But Yeah, Carson means a lot to us. He's not just from his play not just his play, but also his communication and, things like that. And I think he's also stepping into some leadership things. We've said a lot of times it's just a matter of time before the ball found him, and it did on that play. And, I think, we'll get him back on the field, whether it's this week, next week, the week after, whatever it is. I think you'll continue to see a lot of those same positives from him.
In that Patriots game, it looked like they had some success in the second half running to the outside. What did you see, and how can you clean that up?
Yeah, I mean, some of it was a couple missed tackles, and we've generally been a really good tackling team this year. So some of it was that, and then some of it was the quarterback scrambles. That game, when you look at the rushing stats, it's been so long I can't remember, but they're obviously buoyed by, those scrambles, which were big games. It all counts the same, whether they're running or passing. But for the most part, I've been pleased with our perimeter defense this year. We put a big emphasis into it, and particularly our defensive tackles have done a really good job of flattening out and making plays on things like jet sweeps and crack tosses and things like that. This game, I thought we did take a little bit of a step back, and we got to bounce back that way.
All really well. And how much does the presence of a running quarterback enhance that running game?
Yeah, for sure. It just makes you defend one extra guy. It's like having an extra blocker out there because, you have to have availability to handle the quarterback. So a lot of different ways to do it, but, it certainly adds a different dimension. Fields has tremendous speed. He's a 4.3 type quarterback. He's got great size. They have called quarterback runs, like quarterback sweeps, particularly in short yardage. They have quarterback draws, and then they have options, whether it's a zone read or an RPO and things like that. It just really makes you play a sound. It's like playing the triple option in college, right? You have to make sure you cover the dive, the quarterback, and the pitch, and this makes you really play assignment football and puts an emphasis on that. We've obviously seen it before. Lamar with Baltimore runs a lot of stuff like that, and we've seen other teams that do it, so we have a good plan to be able to handle it. But sometimes plan is a little bit easier in theory than in execution. It's one thing to say, yeah, you have the quarterback on this, but another thing when you have a guy that's the athlete that Justin Fields is and the speed that he has. So, it's going to take a good team effort to defend that stuff.
All right, there you go. Coach Schwartz at the podium. Now for the behind enemy lines view, the man they're in charge of stopping. You heard him talking about him right there, Jets quarterback Justin Fields.
What was your reaction to the trade?
You're down 2 minutes here.
I was surprised, like all the other trades around the league. But, it's one thing that, that kind of sucks, being in this league when you, build bonds in locker rooms with guys and then, next day they leave. But, like I said, it's a thing that happens every year, so you're surprised, but not at the same time.
From the organizational view, I think you look at it, they got a lot of draft picks for the future.
Yep.
That doesn't really help you guys Sunday against Cleveland or going forward. So how, as a player, where you have 9 games left, do you process it that 2 of your better players are gone from the team?
You control what you can control and play ball. That's it.
AG told us that he briefly addressed the trades with the team. What was your takeaway from that?
Yeah, he just told the team that change is constant. That's one thing in this league that doesn't change, and that is change. So you just have to adjust to it, and the team that does it the best will keep going and keep ascending. So yeah, but like I said, you can't be surprised by change. That's just what comes in this business, in this game, and like I said, you just got to keep playing ball.
You were in the division with Cleveland last year. What kind of challenge does this defense present?
Yeah, I think they have one of the top defenses in the league. Of course, they have 95 on the other side of the ball. Great player. So first and foremost, taking care of him. Great second level defenders too, and DBs as well. So they trust their DBs a lot. They play a lot of man coverage, and so it's going to be about really just executing on our side of the ball. And like I said, taking care of 95 and making sure that he doesn't wreck the game.
You mentioned Miles, Justin. When you look at his stats, it looks like a video game. It doesn't look like real what he does sack-wise every single year. What, in your opinion, makes him special?
His athleticism and his strength. I think, really just God-given abilities and just working with those Those two things right there, he's been able to work up a skill set to where he can, do different things on the field. But I think just his God-given abilities, just with his speed and strength, and really his athleticism. So I think that's why he's been so good.
Yeah, and Justin would be specifically equipped to answer that question, that his first start was a bit of a day for Mr. 95. For more on the matchup, we are presented by Ballybet here, Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly, our defense versus the Jets offense, and for the details, we turn it over to Dr. Z.
All right, Jets have some stars for sure on offense. Garrett Wilson, who says he is good to go. He will be back. He would be amongst them. He's got 1,000 yards every season, was the Offensive Rookie of the Year in the league in 2022. He says he is back after missing the last 2 games. He's their leading receiver, 36 catches, 395 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Doesn't have a 100-yard game yet this year. They've also got Brees Hall, their running back, 5 yards a carry. He's got 581 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Both of those came last week on a season-high 133 yards rushing. He's got 21 catches for 178 yards. He also threw a touchdown last week, the first of his career. They also have a very good second running back, Isaiah Davis, 5th-rounder out of South Dakota State. He's averaging 6.4 yards a carry. Last week, he had 109 total yards on 12 touches in that game against the Bengals. Got a good young tight end, Mason Taylor, son of Jason Taylor, second on their team, 29 catches, 242 yards, and a touchdown. Fields should be the quarterback here, folks. 64% completions. Not many yards passing per game, but 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Only qualified quarterback in the NFL this year who has not thrown an interception. Rating of 92.6. He's also run for 288 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's second most among all quarterbacks in terms of rushing yards. Bo, do you have a guess who has the most rushing yards as a quarterback this year?
Rushing yards by a quarterback this year.
Yep.
It always helps. I'm not looking at stats. I just want to pull up standings, and then I can identify
quarterback. Yeah,
I'm going to go. Is it Jackson Dart?
Not Jackson Dart. That's a good guess, though. I don't think he's. I think because of Russ early on.
Oh, that's right. He started the first couple of games.
Yeah.
Drake May?
No, it is not Drake May. Gibbe, G-Man. Do you guys have guesses?
Most rushing yards for a quarterback.
Most rushing yards for a quarterback this year in the NFL. By the way, Jackson
in
Dart.
In a game or on the season?
On the season. Dart's got 251 in 6 starts. Justin Fields in 7 starts has 288. So Dart's been quite productive.
He's been getting after it, yeah.
5 rushing touchdowns as well for Jackson Dart.
No idea.
Okay, is G-Man in there? Young Gabriel, you have a guess?
Is it Drake May?
No, he's a Zagura favorite.
Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
Nice.
He's been taken off the last few weeks.
Couldn't even believe it when I saw it. Justin Herbert is the answer. Yeah, I got that from the NFL. The NFL stats. Justin Herbert. Drake May, by the way, has 270. Herbo is 305, I believe, is the number there. Justin Herbert leading the league in. I think he was leading the league in attempts and yards, or at least he had been for a while. He's got 2,400 yards passing already, and he's got 305 yards rushing. Meanwhile, he had 306 yards rushing in all of 2024. And in fact, that was his career high. So within 2 yards, he will set his new career high through 10 games.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. Anyway, offensive line's given up a lot of pressures this year. All of them have given up at least 16 pressures. The guards have given up 8 sacks between the two of them. Joe Tippmann, their second rounder from 23. John Simpson, fourth rounder from Vegas in 20. They've given up 8 sacks and 35 pressures. The tackles, both of them first rounders. Their first rounder, Fashanu Fashunu from Penn State. You probably know that guy. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Fashunu. And then
Fashanu.
I
believe so, yeah.
Fashanu. I like that. Fashanu. And Membu, who was their first-round pick out of Missouri this year, they've given up 6 sacks and 42 pressures. They'll play a lot of 12 personnel. Jeremy Ruckert, former Buckeye. Yep. Not much of a receiver. He's got 9 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown on the entirety of the season. They're not a great offense. They're 29th. They've been sacked 31 times. That's 29th. They are the 3rd rushing offense. No surprise with Justin Fields buttressing those numbers. They are the dead last passing offense. 25th in total yards per game. 24th in points per game. They've fumbled 10 times, losing 7. That's 4th most in the NFL. They're not particularly good on third down, 27th in the league, and they're not particularly good in goal to go. They're 26th in the league there. So this is not a great offense. Our defense, I think we should have a field day getting home, getting pressure. Justin Fields was not hit in the game by the Bengals. They didn't have one quarterback hit. They are useless up front.
They really are.
Without and think about it.
When
Miles
Hendrickson
Murphy,
doesn't play, they
Shamar Stewart. Those are
first
round picks.
I know. Yeah, they really struggle at everything other than drafting receivers.
Duke Tobin, it's amazing that there isn't. He's drafted. I mean, how many guys on their defense were first or second or third round picks over the last 5 years? And they're
before that,
garbage.
it was offensive line. How many offensive linemen did they? It drafted Billy Price out of Ohio State at center in the first round.
Didn't he tear his pec at the combine when we were there?
Yeah, I think he did.
On the bench.
I believe you have that right. Yeah.
So this is not a good offense. This is, folks.
Should be comfortable.
This is a game we should win.
Yep, absolutely should. Good job to you on that matchup. We'll refresh the breaking news, get your fantasy minute, open up that mailbag as well. It's all coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. For nearly a century, the Rumpke family has operated one of the nation's largest waste and recycling companies, providing top-level services to residential and commercial customers. To learn how they can help you meet your sustainability goals, visit Rumpke.com to learn more. The news here within the last hour or so, breaking right around the top of the hour, that Chief Strategy Officer Paul DePodesta, who has been here since January of 2016 in that role, is moving on. He will be head of baseball operations for the Colorado Rockies. Nothing official from Colorado, nothing official from us. Our belief is it would come from them first, and then we would respond after that point. But it's being reported by people who don't miss on these type of things, be it Passan and Rosenthal and Schefter and so forth and so on. And so we anticipate that being the case. We talked about it at length at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. So if you're just joining us, you can hear that on the podcast or on YouTube or wherever you get them, and you can hear our reactions to that at that point. But that is the news of the day here in the building, that Paul DePodesta, after just short of a decade in charge of chief strategy, is moving on back to baseball with the Colorado Rockies. All right, time for that Fantasy Minute presented by Scaleco Capital. Proud private equity partner of your Cleveland Browns. We're at the halfway point, buddy.
Yeah, and now you're getting into the nitty-gritty, and one of the things you're going to have to pay attention to, you got bye weeks, and then you've got injuries now. There are injuries all over the National Football League, so you're going to have to check in for the latest on that. But, for example, if James Cook is unable to go, Ray Davis is somebody you're going to want. Woody Marks could get a much bigger role this week in the event that Nick Chubb cannot play for the Houston Texans. He's dealing with a foot injury. So those are just some of the things that you need to pay attention. You got a lot of fantasy viable guys, Kansas City and Cincinnati on buys. So there's a lot to look at here this week. We'll start the quarterbacks for you, as we always do. Matt Stafford, I think at this point it's hard not to play him. I mean, the guy he's throwing like 80 touchdowns a game. He's been fantastic.
He may work himself into the MVP.
Yeah. Yes, he may.
With the Nakua injury, he keeps this up and they keep winning. He might work his way into it.
Yeah, I think Jackson Dart is a must-start at this point. Bo Nix is a must-start at this point. Caleb Williams, I would keep going with. Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. Those guys are people that I would have no problem getting into your lineups this week. At the running back position, as I said, you got to pay attention to a lot of the injury news. If Cook can't go, that makes Davis a viable guy. If Rico Dowdle is out, Chuba Hubbard becomes a good starter. If Saquon Barkley is out, now you're looking at probably Tank Bigsby there in Philadelphia. Manungai, your guy.
My guy.
It feels like he's the guy, right? He's the guy.
I think he is, yeah.
So DeAndre Swift is back, but you have to imagine he has earned some type of a role in that offense. And wouldn't surprise me at all. R.J. Harvey, he scored in 4 straight games. Woody Marks, like I mentioned, if there is no Nick Chubb in that game for the Houston Texans. Now, remember, they don't have C.J. Stroud either. It's Davis Mills. Wide receivers, if Garrett Wilson is back against us, going to get shut down. But you can go ahead and get him back in your lineups. Chris Olave, Romeo Doubs, Franklin, who I've had an up-and-down year, but no Marvin Mims there, so he's got an opportunity. Parker Washington in a PPR league. If Brian Thomas, who's banged up, if he doesn't play, they already are going to be without Travis Hunter. In a PPR league, I think Parker Washington is a good play for you guys right there. Somebody that I would look at getting in your lineups as well. Trey Tucker. Again, you're going down. You're looking for like waiver wire stuff, but Trey Tucker.
You have to pay attention to injuries now, though, kids, because there's a lot of them.
And Jacoby Myers got traded, so that means somebody's got to step up and catch the football other than Brock Bowers.
You would think. Yeah.
Somebody has to. He would probably be the leading candidate there. Tight ends, at this point, Gadsden is a must start. I think he's played that way. You got to keep him in your lineups. Now we know Harold Fannon's been listed with a hamstring injury, so that is concerning with Harold Fannon there. If he is unable to go, that would give David Njoku certainly a lot more looks in the offense for the Cleveland Browns there. And then defenses this week, as I always like to play the matchups, which we got to do. Denver against Vegas tonight. Browns against the Jets. Love that one. Bills against Miami, I think is always that's a good start there. As I look through, Chargers against the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, which doesn't produce a ton, is a good one as well. Those are some of the defenses to look at this week for fantasy football.
All right, good job to you, Dr. Z. Time to open up that mailbag. Hello, Gibbe.
Hola.
Hey, buddy.
How you guys
we got
doing?
a score we got to get to here. We had a lot going on here in the last.
You know
few
what?
minutes.
Let's do that because I always try to
Otherwise
rush
you
that
forget.
at the end.
Yeah.
There's 35-mile-an-hour winds in Denver.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. That's what's going on. That's a very real thing right now.
Yep.
The score was -9.5 for Denver, FYI. The Denver Broncos.
It doesn't look like it is anymore, though.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
Right now it is? Because on the sheet it's less than.
It's.
I see 9.5.
It's 9.5 now.
Okay. All right.
The Denver Broncos
This
are
one's you.
7-2, and they are playing host to the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a short week. It's Thursday, kids.
It is a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
Thursday. Pay attention.
It's a Thursday. You know, the Broncos, they're very good.
Very good.
They are a darn good football team.
Some people are saying they're the best.
And yet, in their last 5 games, they've won by 4, 2, 1, 20, and 3.
Yeah. They're in the throwbacks tonight. Gibby's favorite.
Which are beautiful. And that's why on a Thursday, I think Ashton Genty and Vegas, they keep it close. Brock Bowers, real close. Denver gets it done.
Barely. On a Thursday. Just barely on a Thursday.
Broncos, 30. Raiders, 26 on a Thursday.
On a Thursday. All right, Gibby.
Denver elevated tight end Mercedes Lewis.
It's unbelievable.
41-year-old
That's
tight end
crazy,
will play tonight.
That's crazy.
That might be the only storyline worth watching.
That's
I don't
nuts.
think I need to stay up late for that one.
Like him still playing tight end at 41. It's in the vicinity of LeBron still playing if he ever comes back from the sciatica at his age. Like, it's just crazy.
Craziness.
Different levels, obviously, but just the ability to still be upright and be functional at that age at tight end in the NFL is nuts.
Now it's time for a little mailbag.
Let's do it, Gibby.
CLE fan in Chicago. What is your one guilty pleasure movie, borderline afraid to admit, on live radio?
I'm not afraid to admit it. It's Christmas Bounty. We're getting into the holiday season, starring The Miz. I was there for the red carpet premiere, which occurred in my basement. And it's fun. You get to hear him do a New Jersey accent, which is also fun. His first foray into acting. It's a great movie. I recommend it. Have your kids seen it?
I don't believe so, no.
Come on, dude.
Where's it at? What's that?
Christmas Bounty.
What app?
I don't know. Just search for it. I own it.
We have not seen it. My wife did. I got out of the shower this morning, and I heard Mariah Carey. And
yes.
I just went, nope.
Yes.
Too soon. Too
no,
soon. I said,
wrong.
You can't do it. Can't do it.
Wrong.
You can't do it, honey. It's too much.
It can be done.
I can't do it yet.
Yes.
I'm all for trees and the rest of it, but I can't be hearing that already.
Oh, baby. Never. So. It's too short of a season as it is.
I mean,
Thanksgiving is so backed up. Thanksgiving's so backed up this year.
It is, yeah. I'm all fine with all of it.
I walked into the studio this morning to start my day.
Yeah.
And the G-Man was playing YouTube videos of him playing in a jazz band at Wadsworth High School Christmas music. Playing sax.
Of course.
Guys, Christmas Bounty, Fandango at home is
there
the only thing.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
What are they charging for that?
15.
Who was better on the
rich for my
sax,
blood.
the G-Man at Wadsworth or Rob Lowe in St. Elmo's Fire?
Oh.
There's an oldie for the
He doesn't
kids.
know. He doesn't know.
Oh, just put that into YouTube. You want to be blown away, G-Man.
He doesn't want to talk about it now. I was impressed by him.
I am impressed
He
by
had a
him.
little riff in the middle.
Of course
like
he does.
Jazz.
What can he do? Do anything he wants.
All we were missing was the jazz flute.
It's an absurd scene.
It's a great
There
scene.
you go. You're
It's
welcome.
unbelievable scene.
You're welcome. Love a dog today. Favorite Browns uniform configurations? Any variant you'd like to see in the future?
White, orange lid, white over white, orange lid, brown over white standards. I think that the all white that we wore last year is really cool with the white lid, and I think the all brown we wore this
Looked
year
great.
is really cool. I don't love the orange pants.
No, me neither.
Yeah,
I don't.
I know some people do.
Cardiac
It's a lot
Kids, since we're looking at
Yeah,
it
it's
right,
right
there.
there. Yeah.
I that over a white pant
Yeah,
is great.
yeah.
I really kind of like us in the all whites.
I think the all whites. I think a Bernie in the all whites. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what it's. That's what it. To me, I think the all whites is the look. I love that look.
Agreed.
Clean.
Yeah,
Clean.
It's so crispy.
Clean.
Brownie and the AK Man. We're supposed to get our first real snowfall of the winter later today.
Oh, he's in Alaska.
Yeah.
Your boy, this is your burner.
We're supposed to get it Sunday night into Monday.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm sure we'll. Oh, the kids aren't in school Monday anyway, so what difference does it make? Of course.
Perfect.
Why not?
It's adjacent to Veterans Day, I'm sure, or something. I don't know.
It is. It has to be.
Yeah. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Do any of you guys enjoy any outdoor winter activities or sports? No, I enjoy going to Florida and playing golf.
Yes.
So we made a deal when we moved north. If we were going to live up here, you got to live in winter. So the boys ski. We do all of that stuff. They all ski. Where I grew up in, which is relatively, I guess, compared to the rest of the continental United States, relatively close to Alaska. We skied and snowmobiled all the time and had the ball. Snowmobiling is awesome.
Snowmobiling is undefeated.
Awesome. It's so much fun. I used to love to ski. I think here it's borderline dangerous. I'm terrified every time I go, and good Lord, I feel like there's 60,000 people coming a million different places. It's crazy. But out west, I love it.
Yeah, the girls have been on snowboards since they were old enough to study.
I don't like how locked in your
skis
knees are.
too.
I don't feel comfortable on it. And I was a skateboarder growing up.
You'd probably do fine.
Not Tony Hawk.
You would probably do very well on a board then. On a
I don't like
snowboard.
it. I don't like how your legs are locked in.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
No, I feel it just feels like I'm going to rip my knee. I want to luge. I want to do bobsleds.
God, you and a luge would be a scene, man.
Oh man, you said it.
We have
Big
less than a
savings.
minute, Joe. Real quick, in a pinch this week, Dr. Z, got to start one, bench one. DK Metcalf, Rome Adunze.
Adunze will bounce back.
Speaking of Z, join him and Ken tonight, 7 to 8 for the
Yes,
Kevin
we're
Stefanski
back.
Show live from
All right.
Razzles
Oh,
in
boy.
Olmsted Falls. Come out and meet Mike Hall Jr., registered to win autographed merch, courtesy of our friends at Bud Light.
Hide the
We're back.
women and children, kids.
Go looking for dinner. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, and we're thankful that you did. Presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland.